This lesson is lesson 112. We're looking at probability. This is probability part 1, so obviously we're going to be having more of a study with it later on, but it's just the basics here to get started. So first of all, in the beginning of the lesson, just a little bit about probability. It says the study of probability is based on the study of outcomes that have an equal chance of occurring. So oftentimes we use a coin or maybe use a spinner, something like that. So in the coin, you have heads and you have tails. What is the probability that when you flip that coin, it will land as with heads on top? So you look at how many are you selecting? So we put 1 on the top because in the coin you're just getting one side, getting heads, and then on the bottom number is always the total number of possible outcomes. So in the coin you have heads and tails. You have two possibilities. So it's 1 over 2. Again, the top number is the number of outcomes that are heads, and the bottom number is the total number of possible outcomes. If you have a spinner that's divided into 4, we just draw a circle here to be like a spinner, divide it into 4 parts, 1, 2, 3, and 4. When you spin that, what's the probability that it will land on a 1? So we're selecting only 1, and the total number of possibilities is 4. We put 4 on the bottom, so the probability is 1 over 4. Often use dice, something like that, when we're talking about probability. Looking at example 112.1, top of page 348, says a deck of cards contains 52 cards, 13 are spades, 13 are hearts, 13 are clubs, and 13 are diamonds. Jimmy tears up the ace of spades. So he had 52, now he only has 51. So 51, well, we'll read on. Then he shuffles the remainder of the deck and draws 1 card. What is the probability that the card is a spade? So again, he had 52, he tore up 1, making 51 total. So 51 goes on the bottom. That's the total number of possibilities. And we're trying to figure out how many, and the top number is the total number of spades. Because we're going to talk about the spades. What is the probability that the card he draws is a spade? Again, when we're working with probability, just like in other fractions, you always need to reduce it. So both of those are divisible by 3. We come out with 4 over 17. Looking at practice letters A and B, practice A says there are 16 marbles in a bowl, 3 are red, 6 are black, and 7 are green. Jimmy draws 1 marble from the bowl. What is the probability that the marble is either red or black? So again, on the top is the number that we're selecting. He's getting 1 marble, so we put a 1 on the top. On the bottom is the total number of possibilities. Actually, no, not a 1, because he's getting either red or black. There are 3 red and 9 black, so that should be a 9. My mistake. It should be a 9. And on the bottom, we put the total number of possibilities. So if we have 3, 6, 3 are green, 3 are red, 6 are black, and 7 are green, that equals 16. So that's the probability, 9 over 16, that he would get either a red or a black marble when he draws 1 from that bowl with 16 marbles with those 3 different colors. Letter B says a red die and a green die are rolled at the same time. What is the probability of getting a sum of 11? So if you think about a red die and a green die, you roll them. What's the possibility that you would have a sum of 11? So there's only one way that you can get a sum of 11. That is when the one has a 1 and the other one has a 6. Because if you have 3 and 8, 3 and 8 also equal 11, but you don't have on these dice here, you usually have up to the number 6 usually. So there's only one way that we can get a number 11, and there are 18 different possibilities, 18 other combinations that we could have. So we would put 18 on the bottom. So the probability that it would be an 11 when you roll a red die and a green die is 1 over 18. This lesson, there are a few numbers 1, 2, and 3. They have to do with the new parts here, with what we're going over with probability. But then the rest of the lesson, just a lot of review and some things that we were looking at in previous lessons. So I think most of the rest of it should be self-explanatory, but again, if you have questions, make sure you remember to ask.